Hello, my friends. Today I wanted to show you how I do simple composting. Uh, those of you who follow me, you know that I have a garden here in the backyard. I've made Juicy Fruit Island as a new addition this season. Excuse me, just 1 minute. Excuse me. Sorry, I had something caught in my throat. Anyway, I'm out here in the back, and we've had rain for 3 days straight, so the mosquitoes are just intense. I had to go in and douse myself with stuff that I normally don't like to use, which is off and any of the other things that will keep the mosquitoes off of me. But anyway, I just wanted to take this opportunity and show you my different ways of composting. Now, I don't have a hot composter. In other words, I don't have a big container that's 3 feet wide and 3 feet tall, and I can go from one to another. But all I do have is I take grass clippings. My neighbor brings me his huge bag of grass clippings, and I use this and I mix it with shredded paper and shredded cardboard, and just those two ingredients are what I use for my compost. But I just want to show you what I've gotten so far. Occasionally, of course, leaves do fall in here, and I get pine straw and different things. But this was the original one that I started, and I just turned it over. I'm doing this one-handed, but I just turned it over once, and I got worms that were earthworms that were just huge. I don't know if I've ever seen earthworms that big in my own yard, but you can see how pretty this is. I've still got some things in there, some roots of God knows what, but anyway, this was pretty easy to just flip over, and you can see the pine straw that just keeps. We have pine trees behind us, so that's a daily occurrence, is that they come in. And I think the worms have kind of moved around going, get out of her way. Okay, so that's the first spot. This has been about 4 months. Here's a little guy. That's just a little earthworm. There's another one. There's another one. I mean, you can see there's some nice size characters there. There you go, honey. Show me your size. Wow. Anyway, we'll let him go back and do his thing. I think this has been, like, what did I say, 3-4 months of just the two, and it breaks down. It works really well. I've maybe January, February, I think I started this pile again. You can see that my moringa has come back from being frozen off, and the kale that I had here that was just massive, we have probably gotten about 15 or 16 pounds of kale off of this little section, and I had about 10 plants. I think that was about it. That's a pigeon pea. The blooms turn to peas, and the peas are about ready to be picked. But back over here, and now this one I started just really I want to say maybe 2.5 months ago, and it has also really gotten, I'm not sure what, I think I've gotten some roots and stuff in it. Sometimes when my neighbor, he has big oak trees, and at the beginning of the season, we have live oak here in Florida, and at the beginning of the season, the oak trees will only drop their leaves when the new leaf is pushing it out. In other words, if this were an oak leaf and it was dead looking, it would still hang on the tree until another one back here was pushing it out, and then they would drop. So for us, January, February is when they really start to drop. And when they do, of course, they lay, and then whenever he starts cutting his grass, then the grass, instead of being just grass, is a lot of oak leaves. Here, let me find one for you. Oh, there's some wood. But am I going to find any down here? Probably not. Now that I'm looking, I can't find them. But that's some really nice, and it was probably about a 30-pound bag. So, but anyway, what I will do with this now, I'm not going to add any more here because I really want that to kind of cure. And what I do is I am keeping back my weeds. As you can see here, I'm keeping back the weeds. And what I do is I just come over here, put some cardboard down, and then I cover it with grass clippings. When you do that, if you do it, make sure you cover all of the cardboard. Don't let the ends show or lay uncovered. Otherwise, they will dry out, and then you'll kind of have a mess. But I do it with, like over here where I want to keep the tomato plants, when I want to keep their base cool, want to keep their roots cool, I'll mound up my grass clippings over there. So anyway, let me show you one more spot that I have that is active, that I'm actively adding to it. So you've seen the two now, and the third one I haven't shown you for a long time, and it is my EnviroCom tumbler that my neighbor gave me, and we keep adding to it. Let me see if I can do this one-handed. You can see what it says, and just turn it back just a little bit. And I don't know if you can see in there, because I can just see but I will go ahead and add some more greens to it. Oops. Add those in there. And as this cures, as it cooks, this is a really good spot for it because it does get hot. I will just do one thing here, and I will show you that this is where the sun comes up. And so all morning long and into the afternoon, these plants get sunlight, and then this black plastic really heats up. So during the winter I was seeing, just try and get a rock to it. And now there's the bottom of it, and if it gets too much moisture, then the liquid will drain out. But I'll give it about 4 or 5 turns and rock it back and forth and make sure everything's closed. And I can feel it's getting heavy. Hard to do one-handed, sorry. Okay. We'll open it again, and you can see you've got grass clippings and other things all around. But I add some kitchen scraps to this if I'm not going to add them to the compost inside. You know, if I'm doing something like the kale or broccoli or something, and you know, things that kind of have a smell to them on their own, I won't add those to the inside worm bin because I really don't want that smell in my kitchen. And so I'll bring it out here, and I will, you know, add it to this one. Occasionally I have added it to those 2 other ones, but not very often. It's not even a weekly thing. It's like, gee, you know, maybe let me try it once and see if it'll work. But you can see, I mean, I had this one still seems to retain some height to it, but this one has really just sunken down into nothing. And before I went over there, and I probably took out about 15 or 16 worms that were at least, that's about 8.25 inches from fingertip to fingertip. And I mean, they were massive. And I can handle a worm now, but there's something about a snake that's it's gonna make me jump. And I picked up a few of those, and I thought, oh, please be a worm, please be a worm. But they were beautiful earthworms. They had their developed clitellum, and I even saw a few cocoons. So I thought, oh, cool, that's very cool. So anyway, that was all I wanted to show you guys, was how I go ahead and compost in my yard. I don't have the bucket composter where you can actually bury that in your yard and feed it scraps. I think that might be the next step. But I'll certainly keep you up on what I'm doing, because I think it's really adding to the, what word do I want to say, to the structure of my property, to the structure of the soil, is getting all these great layers of healthy soil to them, and just everything is growing. I mean, as you can see, I'm having really no problems with anything developing. It all just looks really, really lush. So anyway, I hope if you see what you like, that you'll subscribe and come back and see me again, and ring the bell, and they'll notify you that I've gotten something else going. And I promise to come back and do a nice garden tour, tell you what's really blooming. And I hope to see you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.